Γεια σας. Ονομάζομαι Γιώργος Δημητρακόπουλος και είμαι ο πρόεδρος της Παμακεδονικής Ομοσπονδίας Καναδά και είναι ιδιαίτερη χαρά και τιμή για μας να έχουμε εδώ στην αίθουσά μας, στο σπίτι, το μακεδονικό σπίτι, τη κυρία Βάσο και όλους εσάς, και είναι χαρά για μας να σας φιλοξενούμε εδώ σε αυτό το στολίδι της Ντάλφορθ. Θα ήθελα εκ μέρους της Παμακεδονικής να συγχαρώ τον κύριο Παπούλκα για τις πρωτοβουλίες που αναλαμβάνει να προωθήσει τα ελληνικά έργα και την ελληνική μας ιστορία. So congratulations on behalf of the Pan Macedonia for all the work you do to promote the Greek history and the Greek films. Αυτά τα λίγα από μένα. Θα ήθελα να καλέσω στο βήμα τον Αχιλλέα Παπούλκα να πει αυτός αυτά για την οργάνωση. Σας ευχαριστώ και πάλι και καλή επιτυχία σε όλα αυτά που γίνονται εδώ.
Kalimera. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Greek International Film Tour of Canada, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all here today. We are grateful for the presence of the local Greek media, our valued sponsors, the representatives of the Greek cultural organizations, and your support and participation reflect the pride and passion of our community shares in celebrating the Greek cinema and culture across Canada. A special thank you goes to the Pan-Macedonian Federation of Canada for generously providing us with their offices for this news conference. Your hospitality and continued support are deeply appreciated. Now in its 5th year, the Greek International Film Tour of Canada has grown into something far beyond a film festival. It is a bridge that connects generations, a platform to celebrate our shared heritage, and an opportunity to bring the richness of Greek storytelling to audiences from coast to coast. None of this would be possible without the collaboration and dedication of you all here today. It is now my great honor to introduce someone whose vision, leadership, and passion have guided us in this festival since its beginning. Please join me in welcoming Executive Director of the Greek International Film Tour of Canada, Mr. Stanley Popolkis.
Thank you so much. It is with tremendous pride and heartfelt joy that I welcome you to this 5th annual Greek International Film Festival Tour of Canada. When this journey began about 5 years ago, our mission was simple yet powerful. To celebrate, to promote, to spread Hellenic culture through the art of film. But from the very beginning, we knew that this festival had to be more than about just watching movies. It had to be about bringing people together. It had to be about sharing stories, about learning from one another, and about strengthening the bonds that connects us Greeks, and welcome others into our own culture with open arms. This festival, it as its core, a celebration of identity, belonging, and community. It is an opportunity to open the door not only to Greek friends and families, but those who may not have grown up in our traditions, and yet beauty and the meaning of our heritage. It is about showcasing what we love the most about being Greek, and inviting everyone to share it. And this year, more than ever, we are blessed with incredible guests who help spread that message. We have brought their voices, their artistry, their passion to Toronto and across Canada. Their presence here is a gift to us all. Last week, and we were very honored to have Eleni Alexandrakis, the acclaimed director and the producer of Yannis in the City, who traveled from Greece to share her work with us. Kostas Mandalor, the internationally renowned Greek-Australian actor, who spoke so passionately about his upbringing and the profound influence of his Hellenic roots on his career and life. And this weekend, we are equally privileged to welcome Vaso Kazantzidis, the wife of the legendary Stelios Kazantzidis, who brings her deeply personal perspective on the life and the music of this beloved icon, featured in the film Stelios. We are grateful to Andrea Papadakos, Iparcho, as most people know him, Steve Merkopoulos for making her appearance here, and her granddaughter to make it possible. Renos Haralambidis, one of Greece's most versatile and admired artists, producer, director, and lead actor of our film Athens Midnight Radio, who decades of work in film and theater continue to inspire. Our local voices, including Vasilis Minikas, owner of the Danforth Pizza House, who has turned his creativity to film with Cancer Kid, and Nicholas Ramses, co-host of our short film showcase and one half of the Two Guys for Reels duo that so many of you know in social media. James P. Axiotis, producer of the documentary Another Place. Born in Athens and raised in California, who brings more than 40 years of experience in film and television. His powerful storytelling about migration and resilience reminds us all of the universal search for home. It is especially important to profile our Canadian filmmakers of Greek heritage. By elevating their work, we open up the door to a stronger partnership with filmmakers in Greece and pave the way for future Greece-Canada co-productions. While there is already an agreement between our two countries to support co-productions, it is sadly underutilized. Though this festival, we want to encourage those collaborations, to inspire our filmmakers here in Canada to work hand in hand with their peers in Greece, to tell stories that transcends borders and to bring forward a truly international vision of Hellenic culture. To each of these remarkable individuals, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here, for sharing your stories, for helping us carry forward the spirit of Hellenism through film. And to all of you in attendance, our sponsors, our partners, the local media, and to our community, you are too part of this celebration. You are very, very important of what we do here. Please take this moment not only to listen, but to connect. Feel free to ask questions, take part in one-on-one interviews afterwards. Capture photos, simply come forward and saying hello. This is the time for dialogue, for sharing, and for celebrating everything together as Greeks. As we make this 5th year, as we mark our 5th year, I want to remind us all, this festival again is not just another film festival. Our vision is bold. Our dream is to make the Greek International Film Festival Tour of Canada a worldwide event where we can put ourselves on the map and bring Greeks from all over the world to attend Toronto, to be able to create events, movies, and everything, drive the economy, drive our culture, drive everything to more than just Toronto. On behalf of the entire team of the Greek International Film Festival, thank you for your presence here. Together, we are not only enjoying the films, we are carrying our culture forward, passing it on, and keeping it alive for generations to come. Welcome to the festival, welcome to this moment, and welcome to our shared celebration. And now, I'd like to call on each one of them to come up and say a few words before the question and answer period becomes, and then we'll go from there, okay? So I'd like to first call up Vaso Kazantzidis.
Καλησπέρα σας. Χαίρομαι ιδιαίτερα που είμαι για μια ακόμη φορά στο Τορόντο. Ειλικρινά αγάπησα και αγαπώ πάρα πολύ αυτό το κομμάτι του Καναδά, γιατί έχω αποκτήσει τις καλύτερες διασυνδέσεις και φιλίες με ανθρώπους. Χαίρομαι ιδιαίτερα που δίνεται η ευκαιρία στους ομογενείς μας να παρακολουθήσουν την ταινία «Ο Στέλιος». Ήταν ό,τι επιθυμούσε όταν ήταν στη ζωή, έγινε πραγματικότητα και σήμερα φτάνει μέχρι εδώ να μάθει και η νεότερη γενιά ποιος ήταν ο Στέλιος Καζατζίδης. Ειλικρινά μέσα από την ψυχή μου να ευχαριστήσω τους χορηγούς, τον Ανδρέα Παπαδάκο, τον Σταν Παπούλκα, τον Στίβ Μυρκόπουλο, γιατί χωρίς αυτούς δεν θα δινόταν η ευκαιρία να φτάσει ως εδώ και να ολοκληρωθεί αυτό που τόσο αγαπάμε όλοι. Δεν έχω κάτι περισσότερο να πω. Αν θέλει κάποιος να κάνει κάποια ερώτηση, ευχαρίστως.
Κύριε Καζαντζίδη, καλώς ήρθατε στο Τορόντο.
Ευχαριστώ.
Είμαι Ντένι Φίο, είμαι από το British Fashion Magazine, το περιοδικό. Και πάντα θυμάμαι τη μουσική του Στέλιου Καζαντζίδη όταν ήμουν μικρή. Από μικρή θυμάμαι διότι οι γονείς μου πάντα παίζανε τη μουσική και προπαντός όταν πηγαίνουμε βρωμένες μέσα στο αυτοκίνητό μας. Και ήθελα να σας ρωτήσω, η πρώτη μου ερώτηση είναι, ποιος ήταν ο ρόλος σας στην υποστήριξη της καριέρας του σύζυγου σας και πώς η φήμη του επηρέασε την οικογενειακή σας ζωή?
Για την καριέρα του δεν θα μπορώ να πω πολλά πράγματα, γιατί εγώ το Στέλιο τον γνώρισα όταν είχε αποτραβηχτεί από τα νυχτερινά κέντρα. Θα μπορούσα όμως να σας πω για τη ζωή μας. Η ζωή μας ήταν πολύ απλή, γιατί ο Στέλιος έζησε και μεγάλωσε με αρχές ποντιακές και ήταν μέσα στη φτώχεια, στα κατοχικά χρόνια, δεν του δόθηκε η ευκαιρία να χαρεί τη δόξα, το χειροκρότημα, τα πότα. Έτσι λοιπόν, όταν εγώ τον γνώρισα, η ζωή μου δίπλα του ήταν ένα πολύ ευχάριστο γεγονός. Ζήσαμε πολύ ωραία χρόνια, όχι μόνο. Είχαν και πίκρες, στεναχώριες, τα περισσότερα όμως χρόνια, και μέσα στο μυαλό μου πάντα ήθελα και θέλω να συγκρατώ ό,τι καλύτερο συνέβη στη ζωή μας. Ήμουν πολύ ευτυχισμένη το ότι τον γνώρισα. Δίπλα του τέλειωσα ένα πανεπιστήμιο. Ήταν ένας άνθρωπος πολύ σοφός, ταπεινός και ποτέ δεν αγάπησε τη δόξα και το χρήμα. Και με αφορμή την ταινία να πω δύο λόγια. Η ταινία έλεγε ότι ήθελε να τη δει η νεότερη γενιά για να μάθουν τα νέα παιδιά πως ποτέ ο άνθρωπος από τη μια στιγμή στην άλλη δεν γίνεται ένας μεγάλος καλλιτέχνης, ένας μεγάλος ηθοποιός. Περνάνε πάρα πολύ δύσκολα για να φτάσουν εκεί που φτάσανε. Και ήθελε τη ζωή του τα νέα παιδιά να τη θυμούνται ότι μια φορά και έναν καιρό υπήρξε ένας καλλιτέχνης ο οποίος δεν αγάπησε το χρήμα και τη δόξα και αποτραβήθηκε σε ένα μικρό κτήμα στον Άγιο Κωνσταντίνο για να μπορέσει να ζήσει το όνειρο της ζωής του. Την ταπεινότητα δίπλα στη θάλασσα και στο ψάρεμα που αγάπησε και λάτρεψε και έτσι έφυγε από τη ζωή. Ταπεινός και λίγο αποτραβηγμένος από τα φώτα της δημοσιότητας. Όσο και να τον κυνηγούσε, εκείνος ήταν σταθερός σε αυτά που είχε αποφασίσει να κάνει στο ταξίδι της ζωής του.
Αγαπημένη μου Βάσο, δεν θα ρωτήσω πολλές ερωτήσεις. Γνωριζόμαστε το 2015. Είχες την καλοσύνη να φιλοξενήσει εμένα και τη γυναίκα μου στο σπίτι σας, στον Άγιο Κωνσταντίνο. Ξέρεις πόσο φανατικός οπαδός είμαι του Στέλιου, από μικρό παιδί. Δεν έχω πολλά να ρωτήσω, απλά 3 σημεία. Το πρώτο, πώς αισθάνθηκες για την μεγάλη τιμή που έγινε στο Καλιμάρμαρο το περασμένο μήνα, από το Όλοι Μαζί Μπορούμε του Sky, η σχέση σου με τον Μάστορα μετά από αυτή την ταινία, και άκουσα από κάποιον δημοσιογράφο σε μια τηλεόραση της Ελλάδος ότι ο Στέλιος δεν επιθυμούσε ποτέ να γίνει η ζωή του κινηματογραφική ταινία, ενώ ξέρω από σένα από παλιά ότι ήταν επιθυμία του, έτσι δεν είναι?
Ο Στέλιος, Βασίλη μου, σε ευχαριστώ, να είσαι καλά, και σήμερα μας λείπει ένας άνθρωπος από κοντά μας που θα ήθελα να τη βλέπω κάπου εκεί. Ο Στέλιος πάντα ήθελε να γίνει η ζωή του ταινία και το είχε επιδιώξει. Το πρώτο ταξίδι που έκανε στην Αμερική ήταν για να βρει τον Ηλία Καζάν για να κάνουν τη ζωή του ταινία, γιατί πίστευε ότι το Καζάν είχε κοπεί ενώ ήταν Καζατζίδης και το κάνανε καλλιτεχνικά Καζάν, και ήθελε τη ζωή του να τη δει να ολοκληρώνεται. Εγώ στη διάρκεια της ασθένειάς του το υποσχέθηκα ότι θα κάνω τα δυνατά με κάθε προσπάθεια και ό,τι μέσα είχα να ολοκληρωθεί το όνειρό του. Το πέτυχα. Όταν ολοκληρώθηκε η ταινία έκανα «Θεέ μου, τέλειωσε». Ο Στέλιος θα είναι πολύ περήφανος από εκεί που είναι και θα χαίρεται ειλικρινά, γιατί όντως ήταν η επιθυμία του. Ας μου επιτρέψουν να ξέρω περισσότερα από κάθε κύριο που θέλει να λέει κάποια πράγματα. Ο Χρήστος ο Μάστορας, παρότι δεν προερχόταν από τον καλλιτεχνικό χώρο αυτό, ήταν τραγουδιστής, όχι ηθοποιός. Όταν το άκουσα παρεξενεύτηκα και λέω, είναι δυνατόν και ένα νέο παιδί ξέρει τον Καζατζίδη? Εντυπωσιάστηκα βλέποντας την πρεμιέρα το Χρήστο να παίζει. Δεν τα τραγούδια του δεν είναι τα playback, τραγουδίστησε ο ίδιος ο Χριστός. Ήταν πολλές οι φορές που ένιωθα ότι ο Στέλιος είναι δίπλα μου και τραγουδάει. Σε κάποια γυρισματάκια ξέφευγε και εγώ που είχα συνηθίσει να ακούω το Στέλιο, η μόνη που θα το καταλάβαινε. Και έπαιξε πάρα πολύ ωραία και το ρόλο του. Μου θύμισε το Στέλιο στη σεμνότητα, το βλέμμα του Στέλιου που έπεφτε πάντα χαμηλά, ειδικά σε μερικές σκηνές που κρατούσε την κιθάρα και έπαιζε, νόμιζα ότι βλέπω το Στέλιο. Η συναυλία ήταν μία δεύτερη και μεγάλη επιτυχία που έγινε. Ο Στέλιος ήθελε να κάνει εν ζωή μία συναυλία και έλεγε, θέλω να κλείσω όπως ξεκίνησα. Γνωρίζοντας τη Μαρινέλα, μπήκα στο τραγούδι κανονικά. Τώρα θέλω να κλείσω με μερικές συναυλίες μαζί με τη Μαρινέλα. Όμως δεν του το επέτρεψε η αρρώστια. Και έτσι έφυγε και το άφησε αυτό στην άκρη. Εγώ λοιπόν ανέλαβα και αυτή την υποχρέωση. 24 χρόνια μετά το θάνατό του. Και είχαμε και εγώ και ο Χριστός, ο Μάστορας, την ίδια ιδέα. Είμαι στην Κύπρο, στον εγγονό μου, και χτυπάει το τηλέφωνο και είναι ο Χρήστος ο Μάστορας και μου λέει, κυρία Βάσο, είμαι στην εταιρεία αυτή τη στιγμή και σκεφτήκαμε μετά την ταινία να κάνουμε και μία συναυλία να ολοκληρώσουμε αυτό που σκεφτόμασταν πάντα για το Στέλιο. Και του λέω, με πρόλαβες, γιατί ήμουν έτοιμη το απόγευμα να σε πάρω τηλέφωνο. Έγινε με πολύ μεγάλη επιτυχία. Να ευχαριστήσω όλους τους ανθρώπους και έτσι και εγώ νιώθω υπερήφανη.
Ευχαριστώ. So the next I'd like to introduce and bring up to the podium here is Denos Haralambidis. I had breakfast with the Denos yesterday, I think it was. All the days are all come together. And I realized this is a great guy. I feel like I've known this guy for like 25 years. Denos?
Γεια σας και από μένα. In English, yes. What can I say after the so important things we talk about stadiums? I feel that my field, Athens Midnight Radio, it's a small field, and thank you very much for choosing it, and thank you very much for your view to make this festival really important, not only for Greeks, but for the filmmakers of all around the world. You are a visionary, of course, because your past belongs to the revolutionaries of Macedonia. Papoulkas is a famous warrior. Βοηθήστε με στα αγγλικά, Μακεδονομάχος. And we talked together about his past, and I have an idea that someday you have to wear these beautiful uniforms, military uniforms. And because he's a fighter, and I really believe that very soon this film festival will be really strong and important, not only for Greeks. But I have to tell you, for the Greek filmmakers, it is important to come here at this film festival. So, my film is about the Greek history. As you used to say yesterday, we are very close to bring back the marbles from the British Museum to Greece. And maybe this is going to happen in next year or the next 2 or 3 years. In my film, these marbles, the statues, are the main part of the story. And I'm very proud that maybe when the marbles come back from Britain, my film will be so connected, θα ήθελα να πω στα ελληνικά, επιτρέψτε να το πω στα ελληνικά, ότι είναι πολύ σημαντικό για μένα ότι τα αγάλματα που κλάπηκαν από τους Άγγλους όταν γυρίσουν στην Ελλάδα, η δική μου ταινία θα είναι η μοναδική τους ελληνική ταινία που ποτέ τα αγάλματα τους αντίγραφα είχαν παίξει. So, the only Greek film that the Parthenon statues were a part of the story, it's my film. It's very strange, but it's true. And I'm very proud of it. When you go to Athens, you will go to the Acropolis metro station. Where πώς είναι τα αντίγραφα?
Manuscripts.
The copies είναι στο Acropolis station, are the copies of the statues. That's where I did the shooting. And now the Athenians goes there and have photos with the statues. And the young Greeks learn the story. So, but anyway, it's not important my film, but the important thing is the festival. Because now I have many calls from Athens, what's going on there, how is it, we have to go, to come next year. And yes, Stan, you will be the captain, like Melas, who's gonna lead our army to the victory for the Greek cinema.
Thank you. Any questions for, let's ask Dimitri. Dimitri, do you have any questions?
I do. What's the personal, but I'm going to make it here and now in public. Να το πω στα ελληνικά.
Ναι.
Μπορεί να γεννήθηκα και να μεγάλωσα εδώ, αλλά η γλώσσα μου είναι ελληνική. Συγχωρήστε με γι' αυτό οι υπόλοιποι. Λοιπόν, θεωρείς ότι ο κινηματογράφος είναι απλώς μια αφήγηση ιστορικών και φιλοσοφικών ζητημάτων και αν ναι, πώς μπορεί να λειτουργήσει ακόμα και για την επιστροφή των
μαρμάρων. Ο κινηματογράφος είναι το συλλογικό ασυνείδητο. Δεν ξέρω πώς το πω στα αγγλικά αυτό. Το συλλογικό ασυνείδητο, εμείς οι Έλληνες, οι Ρωμιοί, μεγαλώσαμε με παππού και γιαγιά. Μεγαλώσαμε ακούγοντας ιστορίες. βασικός τρόπος διασκέδασης και επικοινωνίας ήταν να λέμε ο ένας τον άλλο ιστορίες. Που ήρθανε μέσα από τους αιώνες, μέσα από τη θρησκεία και μέσα από το συλλογικό μας συνείδητο. Εμείς που λέμε ιστορίες μέσα από τον κινηματογράφο, βουτάμε στο βυθό του συλλογικού ασυνείδητου και τις βγάζουμε στην επιφάνεια. Είμαστε ψαράδες σε ψάρια που είναι στην Άβυσσο. Και μόνο εμείς μπορούμε να καταλάβουμε που βρίσκονται. Stan, I wish I could tell this in English, because I know, because you are a poet, you like it very much. He asked me, ναι.
Θα το διαβάσουν στο αγγλόφωνο της καθημερινής.
Εντάξει.
Στο αγγλόφωνο της καθημερινής.
Ναι, κατάλαβες. Ναι, I finished, yes.
So, Bill, you have one?
Yes, επέτρεψέ μου να σε λέω Ρένο, σε γνώρισα πριν λίγο, έχεις αυτή την ικανότητα να κάνεις φίλους ακαριέα. Θα ήθελα να σε ρωτήσω δύο πράγματα. Πρώτα, έχεις μία καριέρα πάνω από 55 φίλους, νομίζω, πολυάριθμες τηλεοπτικές σειρές.
Με 35 χρόνια.
35 χρόνια. Εκείνο που μου κάνει πολύ εντύπωση, έχεις γράψει τουλάχιστον για 5 ταινίες το σενάριο, έχεις παίξει και έχεις εξίσου νομίζω εισάριθμες ταινίες που είσαι ο σκηνοθέτης.
Ναι, βεβαίως.
Και μου έκανε εντύπωση ότι πίσω το 92, νομίζω 95, ακόμα ήσουν και...
25 χρονών.
Ναι, και έκανες τον οπερατέρ στον Goofy.
Ναι.
Νομίζω ακόμα και οπερατέρ είχες γίνει.
Όταν είσαι νέος, έχεις πολύ μεγάλη αυτοπεποίθηση. Μετά μαθαίνεις τη ζωή και σου φεύγει.
Εκείνο που θέλω να ρωτήσω είναι, για να έρθουμε στο έργο, πόσο κομμάτι είναι από τη ζωή σου αυτό, γιατί έχεις και καθημερινή ραδιοφωνική εκπομπή, πέρα από το ζευγάρι του έρωτα που είναι μέσα στο φιλμ, πόσο αυτό έχει επηρεάσει, αν θέλεις, ορίμασες σε μια εποχή που πόσο κομμάτι από τον εαυτό σου είναι αυτό, γιατί είναι πολύ δύσκολο να είσαι σκηνοθέτης και να είσαι και σεναριογράφος και να είσαι και ο ηθοποιός της ταινίας. Πόσο πολύ σε έχει επηρεάσει αυτή?
Στην πραγματικότητα, οι ταινίες μου είναι φάρμακα για να γίνω εγώ καλά. Σε εποχές της ζωής μου που πονάω, μόνος μου, προσπαθώ να βρω το γιατρικό μου. Είμαι 55 χρονών τώρα. Όταν λοιπόν πήγαινα στα 50, φοβήθηκα πάρα πολύ το χρόνο. Και βλέποντας τα σπασμένα γάλματα στη στάση μετρό Ακρόπολης, που τα είχε διαλύσει ο χρόνος, αλλά παρόλα αυτά ήταν ολοζώντανα και οι πληγές από τον χρόνο ήταν κομμάτι της ομορφιάς τους, άρχισα να σκέφτομαι ότι το γιατρικό μου είναι να φτιάξω μια ταινία που να με παρηγορεί για τη φθορά και για τη μέση ηλικία. Υπάρχει μια τάκα που λέει «Δεν πέρασε ο καιρός, ήρθε ο καιρός». Και αυτό είναι το γιατρικό. Άρα λοιπόν για μένα όλες τις ταινίες μου είναι μια προσπάθεια να γίνω εγώ καλά και να το μοιραστώ με όλους σας. Τώρα για τα άλλα που ήμουν οπερατέρ και όλα αυτά, ναι, είμαι και παραμένω τρελός καλλιτέχνης. Μέχρι το τέλος. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right now, my next person I'd like to bring up is a person that actually created a completely different idea of pizza and a movie. Vasily Minikas, the owner of, or family owner of the Danforth Pizza House, and also a filmmaker, and who has a film in our festival called The Cancer Kid. Vasily.
Thank you, Sam. So my name is Vasily. I'm a filmmaker here in Toronto, and I work in the Canadian film industry here. I grew up in Toronto. I grew up as a part of the Greek community here. I grew up, go to Greek school, Greek dance programs, Greek theater, and that was always a very important part of staying connected to our culture and our heritage, and to be close to other Greeks. And so programs like that and initiatives that keep us all connected are incredibly important. So it's nice now, having grown up and having started a professional career in film, that there is something like this Greek International Film Festival tour that allows us to connect in a new way, in another way, with each other, with Greek filmmakers from across the world, from Greece itself, and for that reason, I just really appreciate it. I'm very thankful to be a part of it this year. And I hope to continue to participate in the future. Because the most important thing is that we can come together, that we can speak, Greeks in Canada, Greeks in other parts of the diaspora, and Greeks back at home in Greece. Yeah, I mean, it opens up possibilities when we're all together. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. Yeah.
Questions? Bill, go ahead.
Hey, it's really beautiful that we need a stand so we can get to know the people that we have here in our city.
Yeah.
I had no idea about your existence other than the pizza that I've seen.
Yes.
Yeah. But as an artist, you see, it's so wonderful that someone who lives now in Edmonton,
Yeah.
out west, he's introducing you to us, which is so important. And I want to know more about you. I hope you have a good career. We deserve that we have local artists be renowned everywhere in the craft they chose in their life. So congratulations for your first attempt.
Thank you, thank you. And what I do want to say quickly is that behind every institution, every program, every school, it's always individuals. It's always people who put in their own time and dedicate themselves to bring other people together. So you need people like that, always. That's the key.
Hi, again, following up what Vasily just said, that I'm inspired to see that there's a generation of new, young Greek Canadian filmmakers. Is it a collaborative community that you have friends and people around you that are very much into this to make a community of itself? Is it local? Is it across the country? What are your thoughts on that?
What I would say is it's not as much of a community as it could be. And I think that's why having a festival like this is so important, because instead of having everybody just sort of on their own trying to make it happen, to also have an opportunity to come together to learn about each other. Because just as you may not have known about me, I've had a chance to meet other Greek Canadian filmmakers here that I didn't know existed.
I know you have great pizza.
Yeah, thank you. I will say pizza, if it hadn't been for the pizzeria, I wouldn't have made it as far as I have. You meet a lot of people owning a restaurant on the Danforth. But yeah, I mean, I think this is, so far this year being a part of the festival, the thing that I've appreciated the most is just having a chance to meet other filmmakers my age, of my generation, who are trying to do something similar, and recognizing that, perhaps we don't have to go at it alone. Yeah, that's what I'll say. Yeah.
Dimitri, how easy is it to carry a civilization inside of you through the cultural look you grew up with? And how easy is it to print that in your creations with the research you have done that? How deep must you go to bring out that Hellenism, or as a civilizational and philosophical term as well?
What I'll say, just to answer that kind of quickly, is that on the one hand, I think it can be almost invisible. And like, if you grow up in a culture, it informs everything you do, it informs your worldview, and it informs how you think as an artist. So in some ways, having grown up doing Greek theater, Greek plays, the Greek language, it's there no matter what I do. I don't have to go that deep. It's present in the way that I look at everything. And I'd say that's true for every filmmaker, whatever culture they come from. But I would say that all art, or the best of art, has to be a dialogue. It's not a monologue. It's not you on your own. You're dialoguing with something, with other people, with an idea, or with your own culture. I just see it as a kind of conversation inside of myself, always thinking about who am I as a Greek in the diaspora, what does that mean? It's sort of a conversation that doesn't stop going on in my head, and that extends to whatever I'm writing, to whatever I'm filming, to whatever I'm thinking. So, although I think it could be a kind of burden if you think of it that way, it doesn't seem that way to me. It's just a part of what I am. It'll come out of my work no matter what. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Next, I'd like to bring up Nicholas Ramses. Now, Nicholas, and he was the very, very first person on in 2021 when we first launched this to volunteer. He is our growing baby that is now heading up the GIFFT Short Film Showcase, being the liaison with a lot of these Canadian filmmakers of Greek heritage, and our profiling on our social media for the Two Guys for Real. Nicholas?
I'll go this way, I'll make it fun. Thank you, Stan. Okay, I'll lift this a little up. There we go. Kind of sucks being tall sometimes. What are you gonna do? So, I feel a little bit out of place being here amongst everyone else because really all I do is just watch movies. I watch a lot of movies and then I talk about movies with Alexander Antoniadis, the other guy from Two Guys for Real. He couldn't be here today, but I wanted to make sure his name was out there. And, the one thing that I realized from 5 years now of working with Stan is that all we have are stories. That's what we're connected by. That's all that we'll have in the end, right? Is the stories that connect us together, that bring us together. We're a culture defined by that, right? 400 years of occupation brings us here. How does one, survive that? It's through resilience, it's through stories, it's the commitment to make sure we keep something, to have something for ourselves that we can have for generations to come and keep it going. And in that time, I've met so many young people, right? In the past 5 years, when GIFFT started off, it wasn't how it is right now. And over the years, I've seen a lot more young people getting involved, joining, sharing their own stories, which is so important. We have Vasilia, we just screened Cancer Kid at the Short Film Showcase. Excellent film, by the way. And yeah, it's something very special to see younger people getting involved in the Greek community because, I've been in it for a long time. I've grown up in Toronto. I've seen the Greek community evolve. I've seen it change. But the one criticism I always hear is that it's dying. And that's because they say that nobody wants to get involved, we're not passing it down, but I think this is a testament to the fact that we are keeping it alive, we are keeping our traditions going, we're keeping our culture alive. That's such a special thing.
Questions? Bill?
I've seen your reel with your co-host. You're fantastic. You have a lot of talent. And as I look at you, you're the age of one of my grandchildren, and it's so gratifying to see that our Greek community, through the schools, through the homes, of course, to carry on our culture into the future. And you are the future, and I want to congratulate you, and I think I can predict that you have a bright future ahead of you. I don't know whether it's comedy or something else, but you're very good.
I really appreciate that.
Tasso? And next, I'd like to introduce an American. We started talking a few months ago about his submission of a documentary, and we started talking about filmmaking, and we're kind of both in the same media business, and he was so passionate about this documentary, he actually commissioned to have it done. And with that story here, I'd like to introduce you to James Axiotis, who just flew in from California about an hour ago.
Hi. It's great to be here, and thank you guys so much. Thank you, Stan, for this festival and me being here. I'll tell you right off the bat, for me, everything, I'm originally from Athens. I'm a kid, I'm an orphan from Attiki. So, 40 years of my life growing up in California in Hollywood and working in TV and film was to build up a resume. There weren't a lot of Greeks and we were very disconnected. And then I got into the Producers Guild and I served 2 terms on the National Board. I got in the Television Academy, I'm a BAFTA Circle member, and I say that to say I was trying to build up credibility to this point where like 4 or 5 years ago I was able to fund this film about refugees, but everything for me goes back to Greece. Everything goes back to me for storytelling. Everything goes back to me for, we all say stories. We're storytellers, and it's in our DNA. It's not hard. It shouldn't be hard for us to do this. And so I had this opportunity to make this refugee film. Some of the refugees went through Greece, but I connected with it only because of my own where I originate from, and telling stories and just being disconnected or feeling disconnected. And so being with you guys, being back in a Greek community is, and hearing this, because I say this phrase all the time. I came from Greece and I was fluent in Greek. I was 100% Greek. And then back in the 60s, 70s, they called it what I called whitewashing. They made me stay after school and learn English and not pronounce, and not told my parents don't speak Greek anymore. So it's funny how, yeah, I'm an American, I still have my Greek citizenship, I still have my Greek passport. And now everything in my life, I'm 62 years old. So I'm on the other end of these guys. I'm the later generation. But now I just want to, like, the next film I'm going to do is a short film about my mother, the orphanage in Greece, and the whole story about the 5,000 of us that were kind of kicked out of our country, our home country. So all that to say, it's exciting to be here. This film got into 5 festivals, but this is the one I wanted to go to. This is the one I cared about. And not just because of Stan, just because you guys are my brothers and sisters up here in Toronto, and I've never been here. So I wanted to, we need to network, and the only way we're going to build up this community is together. We can't do it alone. Listen, there's 10 or 15, maybe million Greeks worldwide. We are disconnected if we don't connect together. And then we all could do greater things. And so I'm just so grateful to be here. This was a perfect opportunity, and so the film was received, and Stan was so gracious about it when I heard about this week, and I said, I gotta come up. So thank you for having me.
I'm so anxious to get to know more about you. I didn't know you, I did some research on you. I'm so impressed with what you've done throughout your career. Your devotion to children as you travel the world is something that impressed me very much. You are a member, as I read from the Producers Guild of Europe, the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, the Academy Circle member in Britain, and so forth and so on. And you travel the world and you do always something about refugee children, especially war-torn countries. And as I understand, your biological family comes from Armenia.
My father.
Your father. And you're trying to trace everything back, and your new film to be released soon by the name of Georgia, the name of your biological mother. It's going to be very interesting. What drives you most in your work?
The orphanage, my mother. When I found out at 18, my mother was like 19 or 20, wasn't married. I have the tattoo, it's T60 Book 36. I was not named, I was not baptized. And all I know is that she showed up in court to say goodbye. And so when I found that out at 18, she was illiterate. She wasn't educated. She probably worked cleaning homes or was a seamstress. I tried to find her. I couldn't find her. And my father, I never was able to trace him down. I just know that he was Armenian descent. So everything rooted back to an orphan and those kids. And so whenever I had an opportunity, when I was on the advisory board for the Children at War Foundation, I went to Syria, went to the orphanages there. I did a project with the UN. I delivered medicine during the early part of the war in Ukraine to Kyiv and Lviv, again, to children. It always, for me, goes back to Greece, goes back to the orphanage. And I'm not saying I'm an orphan, these are refugees, but I just somehow relate to that, and that drove me. So this film, Georgia, is going to be her story about she shows up in court, and I don't know what she said to me. I have no idea her last goodbye, what she possibly said to me. But I want to believe it was, make this matter, go do something great, And for me, great is not just my 3 daughters that have all been educated. Now I push them. I said, I wasn't educated. So they've all been to college. They've all got degrees and masters, and they're all doing that. But now with the rest of my career, I want to just I want to tell her story, and then stay connected with Greeks and promote our community. There's so much, I mean, it's funny, all of us Greeks know about the orphanage scandal, non-Greeks don't. So I want to tell her, it's not my story, it's her story. And then from that, we'd like to get a feature made. And again, not about me, but just what happened there. But help continually, as you're talking about with this festival and other festivals, we've got to keep this momentum going. Because if we're disconnected, it's not going to happen. We can't have one famous Greek here, one director there, one producer. It's not going to work. It's never going to work. And if we could band together and stay connected, I mean, these are younger guys. And I don't want to, just because I'm older, I want to stay connected to this community to see us grow. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
So this kind of ends our formal introduction of this news conference. So they will be available, everyone will be available for little one-on-one interviews and not getting some more questions and some of the things for your articles or whatever it is that you're looking for. And we've got a little time here. So thank you for coming, and I really appreciate all the support and for those people that have come here to continue to help make this grow, make this into, again, a world event. Let Toronto be the one that leads this. Thank you.
GrecaTV is the television of the Greek diaspora, a place where news, music, interviews, and cultural shows keep our Hellenic spirit alive across Canada and the world.
Founded by Bill Fatsis, a retired justice, politician, and community journalist, GrecaTV is his lifelong dream to preserve Greek language, faith, and heritage for future generations. And it's completely free, anytime, anywhere.
Bill invites you all to join him. Watch GrecaTV, celebrate your culture, and support his vision by watching and advertising with GrecaTV. Together, we keep our heritage strong.